Hey, welcome to 524 week 5. So this week you are going to watch video, group Prezi, and another chapter. So the McWhirter chapter 9, pretty intense, takes a look at teenage pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, and risky sexual behavior. I'll go ahead and let you read through that. There's really detailed slides as well. I would encourage you to use the slides to help you kind of organize stuff. One part that stuck out for me with this chapter and on the slides is looking at different influences, so like interpersonal influences, media influences, and then kind of how that helps drive behavior among teenagers. I would also encourage you, if you are not teaching teenagers, to just go through this with an open mind. This is just another tool that you will have in your tool belt as an educator, and at some point, if you need it, this knowledge will come in super handy. The video you are going to watch this week is Angela Duckworth's Grit TED Talk. There's a lot of thoughts on both sides of the fence about this, so I'd encourage you to keep an open mind. I recommend starting with the TED Talk, and then I have a couple links in this week's announcement that take a look at a pretty extensive study called Much Ado About Grit, meta-analytical synthesis of the grit literature, and essentially just says, like, dude, we've taken this too far, just chill. Here's some other things that kids need that also lead to successful lives. And then we have like an article about her TED Talk, and then Angela Duckworth has an article about this article about her TED Talk. So take a look at that. That one's put out by NPR. So pretty interesting. Also, just doing a little bit of googling and reading a few other educators' blogs if you're super interested in this. It's interesting. I will leave it at that. There's definitely some takeaways on both sides of the fence about how important and how hard we should push for grit. So yeah, I will leave it at that. The group Prezi is coming up. This one is due on Thursday, so on February 9th. Please take a look at the assignment. Again, I have a link to it both in Blackboard Week 5 and in the announcement. On that, the most important thing is to actually enroll yourself in a group in Blackboard. So hopefully the link I gave you in that announcement works. If not, in that left sidebar of Blackboard, click on Groups, and then you should be able to manually enroll yourself. The goal is to have 3 or 4 people in a group. So if there's 4, please start another group or join another group. The idea of this Prezi, if your group had control over encouraging beliefs that a student would be given on a regular basis, what would you do? Right? So figure out what your platform would be. The example in the Google Doc of the assignment is, the 3 would be character counts, be kind, you are valued, and figure out how students would be encouraged with the program that you come up with. So you're going to do 8 slides or kind of 8 parts of a Prezi all together, 2 slides for each point. Make sure it's APA cited, and just try and make it nice and clean. One image on each slide or on each kind of part of the Prezi. The way it works is a little bit confusing in Blackboard. Only one person from your group needs to actually submit that in Blackboard, and as long as you're in that group when I grade that assignment, it shows up for all of you. So if you're not in a group, then it's actually grayed out for me. I'm not able to give a grade. So in the most important steps, just kind of tactically, is make sure that you join a group in Blackboard. So hopefully that makes sense. And then you'll notice I already mentioned it once at the bottom of the Google Doc explaining this assignment, written in bold, submit your group's Prezi no later than Thursday at midnight. So that is the assignment coming up this week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and happy week 5.